Hey guys, what's going on? SpitBrix here, back for another LEGO Ninjago video, and we finally got the official English trailer for the upcoming season of LEGO Ninjago, Ninjago Hunted. And so in this video, we're going to be analyzing the trailer. I'm going to be telling a bit of my thoughts, as well as pointing out a few things you may have missed. I'm going to be breaking up this video into two different sections, one being with Ninjago City, and the other part being what's going on in the realm of Oni and Dragons. And so let's go ahead and jump right in without wasting any more time here. We're going to start off with Ninjago City, but be sure to stick around for the entire video because I think most of the interesting stuff is going to be in the second half of this video. However, there are some interesting things that I found in Ninjago City. So of course we have Garmadon. Garmadon is still there, as well as the Sons of Garmadon. So not only do we have the new Dragon Hunters that are in the realm of Oni and Dragons, but back in Ninjago City, we still do have the Sons of Garmadon who are in control of the entire city and its population. And so here you guys can see we have Harumi, Mr. E in the back, and of course Garmadon over on the left. We have Ultraviolet, who they have somehow ended up hacking into sort of the screens or televisions around the city to broadcast news, and basically the entire city is under complete chaos. Now here are some of the main characters. We have the two main ninja who have been left behind. We have Nia and Lloyd. Lloyd of which who does not have his elemental powers, or at least that's what we can assume, that he has not gotten his powers back. His eyes are still black, they're not green again, which signifies his loss of power. However, we do have Dareth, who's going to be returning in this season. We have Misako, of course, or Coco, and we have Pixel, as well as the Elemental Masters, which we'll talk about a little bit later in this video. Now, of course, we have Garmadon from the last season. I don't think much of that has really changed since the time gap between these seasons isn't that much. And of course, we also have the Oni Titan, which was shown in the last episode of the Sons of Garmadon Season 8 of Ninjago, and he does have his very own set for this new wave, and so he will have a very large significance and impact, of course, probably terrorizing the town as he goes around. Now, like I said, Lloyd still does not have his elemental powers, and so he's going to need to work around that conflict, that trouble that he has there, and maybe eventually get back his powers, but we'll have to see maybe at the end of the season. Now, the big thing with Lloyd is that he is definitely going to need to step up and become a very strong leader to try and lead the resistance. That's what they refer to the movement against Garmadon in the actual trailer here, which reminds me a lot of Star Wars, being the resistance. But anyways, Lloyd is going to try and basically win over the city support, which shouldn't be that hard to do, but he does need to assert the fact that he is a good leader, and so we'll get to see the incorporation of that through this season as well. Here is a very interesting scene that we have a little girl who has a little doll or a little action figure of Lloyd himself, which I thought was really cool. And we have the Elemental Masters. Now, this is probably the biggest change in Ninjago City. Nothing much has changed between the seasons, but with this season, we do have the Elemental Masters. Here we have Karloff, we have Pale Man, we have Tox, Neuro, as well as Turner, and in the background there you guys can see a few Sons of Garmadon members. So really, I really think it's going to be different having both the Sons of Garmadon and the Dragon Hunter, so almost two different bad guys or two different villains, but of course in two different realms. But speaking of another Elemental Master, we have Skylar, who is definitely going to be the most influential, I'm assuming. I know she's a very big favorite for a lot of Ninjago fans, so I hope that she is incorporated a lot. Now, speaking of the next realm, we're going to be talking about the realm of Oni and Dragons, and this is where stuff gets very interesting with this trailer. We get to learn a lot more about what is coming very, very soon to LEGO Ninjago. Of course, we have the Wreck Destiny's Bounty, which is where the Destiny's Wing set of Kais comes from in the actual building sets. Now, right off the bat, we get to see young Wu, who is going to be guarded a lot by Cole. Cole has kind of taken the responsibility of maybe a father figure. Of course, he's not Wu's father, but he is out there to protect young Wu. Now, what is really interesting is in the very beginning scenes here of the trailer, the ninja are running away from the Dragon Hunters. However, the three ninja over on the right side of this image, we have Cole, Jay, and Kai. They have their Season 8 suits on. Those are the exact same ones we got in Sons of Garmadon. However, Zane on the left there, he actually has his new Season 9 robe on, which is basically the same, but it's a little bit battered and torn in a few places. I don't know if that was an animating mistake or if that was on purpose. We'll have to see in the context of the episode that this scene is from. Now, of course, moving on here, we have the Dragon Hunters and the Dragon Pit here, which is the largest set of this upcoming wave. You guys can also see the helicopter flying there, which is from the Firstborn set of this wave. And what I really like so far is that they are using a lot of different vehicles that are from the sets. You know, they're not making up different vehicles that we don't have any Lego brick-built forms of, so that's really cool. We have Daddy No Legs here, who is leading basically these 3 ninja that are all chained up. And what we get to see from the trailer is that Cole and young Wu, or baby Wu, he's basically a young child now, around maybe Lloyd Garmadon, his age, whenever he was a villain at the time. That's who he kind of reminds me of. Here, they're kind of going to be separate. I think that these 3 ninja you guys see in front of you right now are going to be off, kind of separated from Cole and young Wu, but we'll have to see, of course, with the episodes. Now, here's a really interesting one. I think this scene is very different because we have, not only do we have a brand new ice dragon, this is the first time we get to see him, but we also have Kai, who is actually controlling and steadying the vehicle that has a Dragon Hunter on the back, almost as if they're working together, because that Dragon Hunter and Kai are in the exact same vehicle. So, although they may not be working together, maybe the ninja are being forced to help the Dragon Hunters, or maybe they're teaming up of some sort of idea like that, we're not exactly sure. Here we have a closer look at the Ice Dragon. I think he looks absolutely phenomenal. I really wish we got a large-scale version of this guy in a Lego set. Now, as far as the Dragon Hunters, they seem to be liking to capture the dragons in this realm of Onion Dragons and using their elemental powers, because these dragons seem to have different elemental powers, and these Dragon Hunters seem to take advantage and use these elemental powers for their benefit. Here's an example of that using the Firstborn Dragon. I'd assume this is the Firstborn Dragon, that or it's just another fire dragon in the realm. They're using in the blacksmith for the Dragon Hunters. You guys can see that he's blowing the fire into probably where they're making the weapons in there for the blacksmith. Another interesting addition to this season is the inclusion of the Dragonborn Blade. Now, the name of this sword was actually revealed over on one of the designer videos of the Stormbringer Dragon over on LEGO's official YouTube channel. The designer of the set actually called this sword the Dragonborn Blade, and so that's what I'm referring to it as of the time of this video, and that's, I think, what it's going to be called. And the significance of these blades is that they can actually stop elemental powers. They kind of like suck it all into the blade, as you guys can see here, and basically make whoever's holding the sword pretty much immune to all of the elemental powers that are thrown at him. So in other words, these blades are very, very powerful and will have a huge significance and impact in this upcoming season. Here are the 3 ninja again here. You guys can see that they're in the Dragon Pit, and they were going to battle some dragons, which will be a very big incorporation in the season as well. This whole season just reminds me a lot of the movies of How to Train Your Dragon. I think we got 3 of those movies. But anyways, I think that there's a lot of aspects of this season. It may have even been inspired by those movies. We're not exactly sure. But here's a good look at this entire realm, just the landscape of it. It looks a lot like a desert. There's nothing really there. It's very flat. And you guys can see all those different vehicles down on the very bottom there that are going to be driven by many different characters we have in this season. Here's a closer look at 2 of the Dragon Hunters. Up on the very top, we have Jet Jack, and below her, we have another female Dragon Hunter minifigure. We also get a good look at the Iron Baron once again, and in the very back left-hand corner of this image is Daddy No Legs. These Dragon Hunters overall really just give the vibe of being very ruthless, almost like a bounty hunter kind of from Star Wars. I know I'm making some different references, but that's just kind of what they remind me of, just bounty hunters. But moving on here, we also have a few more scenes, which we can see the Iron Baron. After all, he is the leader of the Dragon Hunters, so he will be in many different scenes. And that is the entire breakdown of this Ninjago Season 9 Hunted trailer. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you guys have, be sure to give this video a thumbs up down below and subscribe so you don't miss out on any other LEGO Ninjago content. Be sure to comment down below what you guys are most excited about in this season, and if you missed anything in this video that you think that everybody else should know, be sure to comment that down below. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. I will see you guys in the next video coming very soon.